Hello and welcome to Street Talk, your voice and your views on the issues in the news. We're making some changes to this special segment, so from now on we'll be coming to you on a weekly basis. Well, this week many of you wrote in to comment on our show on Iraqi cleric Muqtada al-Sadr after a week of bloody street fights between his supporters and the government led by Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki. We hosted veteran Iraq correspondent Patrick Coburn of The Independent and Iraqi blogger Raed Jarar to discuss the situation after al-Sadr called a truce. Riz Khan in Sri Lanka pointed to the irony of the situation. Al-Maliki ordered Muqtada al-Sadr's militias to surrender his government forces, but in turn his forces surrendered to the forces of Muqtada al-Sadr. The operation started under the command of the President of Iraq against militiamen, but ended with the leader of the militiamen, Muqtada al-Sadr. Rashid Karim wrote in from London to say that we were missing the point. I think the media is doing Iraqis a disservice by portraying the problem as a Shia and Sunni issue. We must not lose sight that in reality, this is a problem started by US President George W. Bush based on false allegations and deception. Well, Karim, we agree with your point that the war in Iraq is the main issue, but it's our job as journalists to report the situation on the ground, not only regarding the people living in Iraq, but obviously the way it affects the whole world as well. Well, Hassan wrote in from Mozambique to voice his support for Muqtada al-Sadr in Iraq. Muqtada al-Sadr can make an ideal future Iraqi president. He's the bridge between Shia and Sunni. Well, of course, we'll accept all your opinions and put them on the air. Now, as devout viewers of Street Talk know, we like to give you a question of the week to get your opinions on the air. And last week we asked, now that the war is entering its 6th year, how is Iraq better or worse off? That sparked an intense online debate because the issues are so complicated. One of our viewers in Hoboken sent in a video to tell us how sad the war made him.
Where are the doctors? Where are the teachers? Where are the American civilians? They should help. Where is the Red Cross? Oh, it's not there. But there are more soldiers, and more bombs, and more weapons, and more terrorism.
Another viewer with a different perspective was hiding his face because he's a US soldier about to start his 3rd tour of duty in Afghanistan. He noted that morale among US troops was high and said the situation in Iraq and Afghanistan is just what they expected 5 years ago.
5 years, right where we thought we'd be. And 100 years from now, things might be different. If they're not, then we're still going to be there, man. We're not leaving. So get used to us. Yank is here to stay.
But the vast majority of responses we got revealed a massive degree of ambivalence. On such thorny issues as the Iraq war, we had many people saying they were in two minds. One viewer wrote in from Australia by the name of DTXU1 and put it this way. Sure, people died before the war. If you opposed Saddam, you would be killed. But now if you go shopping for dinner, it could be your last act on this world. One viewer put it more succinctly. It's good Saddam's gone, but that's it. Well, now for our question of the week this week, and we're asking, is China the right country to host the next Summer Olympics? Tell us what you think by replying with a short email or video mail, and we'll try to get them on the show, which you can always catch on YouTube. And do send in responses to that question soon. That's it for this edition of Street Talk. Remember, we always like to hear from you, so send us questions and comments by email, and if you find anything interesting or amusing, point us towards that. What you hear on Street Talk is not necessarily the view held by Al Jazeera, and some of the content may be edited, but for time and space reasons only. And that's the talk on the street.